So, Drive to Survive. Drive to Survive, if you don't know, it's a series, a drama series I would say, about Formula 1. I started watching Formula 1 last year because of Drive to Survive, and I didn't understand why F1 fans didn't like the series. But now that I know the sport and the drivers, I do understand, and season 4 is probably the worst season of all. So today, I'm going to tell you what I liked and didn't like about Drive to Survive season 4. So, first, as a McLaren fan, I couldn't wait to watch the McLaren episodes. And guess what? I hated both episodes. Not because they make a rivalry between Lando and Daniel, because, let's be honest, it's kinda true. They didn't have a good relationship in the beginning of the season, but I hated the fact that the McLaren episodes were Daniel episodes. I know he's the main character of Drive to Survive and Netflix loves him, but Lando had such an amazing season and they only used him to talk about Daniel. When I heard that McLaren would have 2 episodes, I thought the first one would be about Lando's first half of the season, but showing the rivalry and Daniel struggling. But no, they only showed like 2 podiums of Lando like really fast, they didn't even talk about it. They focused on the Monaco one, but they used it to the rivalry, and Lando only appeared to make comments about Daniel, and I didn't like that. Then we have the other episode, that I thought, since they love Daniel, they would talk about Monza and the race in Russia to show a redemption for Daniel, since Netflix loves redemptions. But no, I was so excited for the Monza episode, but they kinda ruined it, making that win about Daniel and not McLaren, you know what I mean? Like, I see Monza as a McLaren win, not only a Daniel win. It was such a great day and we had 0 of Lando and Daniel celebrating it as teammates. I don't think Lando even appears in the celebrations and in the podium, but moving on. Now, my 2 favorite episodes was the As one and the Yuki and Ocon. I loved the As episode because it shows what F1 fans want to see, the behind the scenes. It shows how they struggled and what they had to do to have money like that Photoshop with the boat, the sauna, the house. It was a funny episode. And it also shows what we all knew, that Mazepin is a spoiled kid, you know, him crying to his father about Mick having a better car. Didn't ask himself if it was a him problem, you know, which was the real problem. And when they are talking about the race with their engineers, you can literally see Mick being so annoyed because Mazepin has a problem with the tires. We also can see Mazepin's father trying to blackmail the team so they make a better car to Mazepin, and that's what we want to see. Another fun thing in that episode is the Russian race part, because in the episode he is like the first person to pit for intermediates, and the way they put like the race, it's the funniest thing because it looks like he's overtaking everyone, and then when Lewis Hamilton is finishing the race, you can see Mazepin behind him. So for people who didn't watch the season and only watch Drive to Survive, it looks like he's second in the race. And then his engineer says that he beat Latifi and Mick, and I'm like, of course, because they weren't even racing. It was a good episode, it was funny, we had behind the scenes. Gunter is just amazing, I love that he appears in almost every episode. He always got away of at least 10 seconds in every episode, and it was amazing. Now, the Yuki Ocon one, also so funny because of Yuki. He's such a character, he doesn't have a filter. The way he says anything that comes to his mind is amazing. His PR person has literally the hardest job ever. Then we have a race, I don't remember which one was it, but it's basically showing Ocon and Yuki fighting for the P13, like that was a big deal. I would prefer for them to use the minutes in that scene to show Hamilton and Alonso fighting in Hungary. To end this video, another thing that I didn't like was the lack of drivers. Like, I don't think Stroll had a second in this season. And also they used BF to only talk about Yuki. Alonso only appears playing football with Ocon. Perez, I think, only saying his suit is too big, and the same scene of him saying that there's a lot of cameras there. Another thing that I didn't like, it's the reused things like the Monaco one, where Charles can't race, and they show it literally in 2 episodes, like, we get it, move on. But it is what it is. But yeah, they focus only on 10 drivers and the rest nothing. I mean, we didn't even add 2 minutes of Kimi in his last race, like nothing. But I guess we will see what they bring to us next year. So that's it for today's video. Now I'm only going to post about the races. I'll make videos talking about each team and what they did in the weekend, including practices, if there's something in those. qualifying and the races. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. I'll see you next week.